of using the managed associated parts. What I've got here is I open up a project. So I have this project 2161 open, and I open the bill of materials. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the auto part templates. And this, I have one template in here. I'm going to check that off. And this will stay checked throughout the day until I log into the advantage again. The import, import, and I'm going to import a XML file from Canvas, but it could be a zip file, could be a computer file from Space Saver. I could copy and paste. Here I have a trim list if it could be from 2020 cap or project matrix. For that, I'm going to browse for the file that I have. I saved it on my desktop. And I'm going to validate. And validating that, what it's doing is validating it with the eManage database. And eManage has all the manufacturer's codes in it and product types and so on. But when it goes through this process, what it's doing is it's also checking to see the parts, associated parts, and auto parts, and so on. So I'll run through this, and time, and I have it tagged in the drawing, so I have 4 offices, as you can see here. And when I clicked on this choose auto part template, this is that auto part template, and it added this phase here. So this is our labor phase, and this is where I want to start to show the associated parts. So what it did is when it added a part that I created, and this part is nothing more than instructions. And the part number is add labor estimate part, and it's saying to search and add the labor estimate part to the BOM. So I'm going to click on the BOM, and I'm going to type labor, and it brought up my labor parts, and so I'm grabbing labor estimate, and I hit enter. Now, what you'll see happening is I added the labor estimate part, and this is where the associated parts kick in. And so what it's doing is I've created in the background, in the configurator, I created parts that are associated with that part. So, and another thing that you see in the background is it not only added the labor estimate part, which is a 0 price, it's just adding the part so I can associate other parts with, but it automatically added a project management cost. And you can see a calculation here. So I'll get into that a little bit more, but as you watch through what I'm doing, this will change as I add more cost to it. So this project management right now is based off of the 4 offices that are in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is this additional charges. These are additional charges associated with the project, such as overtime or stair carry or whatever it is. So I'm going to go ahead and add this because this project is both overtime and it has stairs. So what it's going to do is it's going to bring up the associated parts with that, and I'm going to add, okay, stairs, and I'm also going to add overtime. Okay. Now, once those add, and you see them adding to the parts in the background. So I will then close that. And now what I'm doing is I did freestanding desk. So I'm just going to add, yes, I'm basically saying I am doing freestanding desk. So I'm going to add this, and the freestanding desk that I have are U-shaped. I have 4. So I'm going to have 4 U-shaped desks. I'm also going to do 4 stack-ons. And actually what I didn't do, but normally you start from the top down, is these desks are also disassembled, and they're also wood desks. So I'm just going to add this. It doesn't really matter the quantity. I can add 1 or I can add 4. These are associated parts, but they're also calculated fields. So they're going to calculate by whatever the quantity of desks there are themselves. So I added those desks, and you notice here I've got my stair price is adding, my overtime price is adding, and these are 2 different numbers because overtime also goes against the stair, the stair cost. So I will close that, and I also have some seating in here. So I'm going to add seating, and I have 4 desks, so I have 4 chairs. So once this pops up, and this is the way I, in this sample, I broke it out. So maybe a different dealership or a different company prices their things out different, but this is how we got it for us. And so I have 3 to 5 chairs. I have 4. I'm going to add that. And I'll show you what happened in the background here. Okay, so now I just close everything because I'm done, unless I had other things that I want to price out. But I will close that. And what you'll notice here is I have all my pricing done for all my costs and labor. So what I did is here's my project management, and I got my project management set to calculate based off of the sell price. And so it's automatically calculating at 2%, and there's my price. Here's my stair upcharge, which is taking all the labor pricing and basically adding 25% to that. There's that price. Here's my overtime cost, which is taking the price of all my labor, including this stair upcharge, and it's adding a 0.5 to that, so I get my time and a half. Here's my U-shaped desk here. I have 4 of them, so I added the price there. My stack-ons, I have 4 of those. Here's the upcharge, which is basically 25% for disassembled, and it's adding that. Here's the upcharge for wood insulation. I set that at 25%, so it's adding that. Here's my seating, and what I did is I have a minimum delivery charge for seating, so it added $65 for minimum charge. Doesn't matter if it's 1 or 100, so there's a minimum charge. And then I had 3 to 5 chairs after that. They had 4 of them, and I charged $14.29, and there's my total price. And so there it is. It automatically, priced everything out. Now, if I change the quantity of desks, I could just change this. Let's go ahead and I have 6 desks now. I have 6 hutches as well. And you notice as I'm changing this that the overtime and the labor and everything, the disassembly, all that stuff is changing. So then I have 6 chairs as well. So all the pricing is automatically updating as I change the quantity. So I don't have to worry about going and changing this. Okay? So that was an example of importing the parts. Now, if I wanted to, if I didn't need to import it, and I didn't, as an example, I have to do some pricing and don't require a drawing, I can go to Tools and a new option. Now I have my auto part template set, so I don't have to go down there and check that. And what it does is I added a new option, and it added, put this down a little bit, if you notice here, I have 2 phases. Okay, so I have this default phase, which was brand new, and then I have my labor phase. And inside my labor, again, it's going to have that part saying to add the labor. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to add some product. And let's just call this, I'm going to call it tailored test chairs. And I click on my BOM, and eManage is integrated with Project Matrix. So we have this Project Matrix button here. So I will click and open Project Matrix, and I will scroll for seating, vary, and just like Project Matrix and CAP, I just search for the chair. I want the arms, plastic base. I want lumbar. I want back lock. I want hard casters. Carpet. Here's the chair. I know it's going to be cobblestone. I don't know color. I don't need your fog. For the trim, and I'm not too sure what color on that, but I will accept that. So this is the way of doing it where you don't need a drawing. You just need a price for some product. And this will add 2 more parts here. And once it adds, I'm going to change the quantity to 25. And we got 25 of these chairs that we need to deliver. So quantity 25. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my labor. So I click on my parts here, in my BOM, and it says to add labor. So I search for labor. And there's my labor estimate. And I add this. And then it's going to bring up the associated parts. And it's also going to automatically add my project management, and it's going to calculate. So I already got that there. And this is let's just do this again, as a stair carry and overtime. So if you notice this, it is taking a little bit of time for this to pull up, but just so you know, I am working in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I am connecting to a database in Canada. So it does seem like it might be taking a little bit of time for these to add, but I'm a long ways away, and that's how fast it's working. And I'm doing it, I'm wireless, so I'm doing it remote wirelessly, and I'm doing it across the ocean. So I have 25 chairs. So I'll add that. Okay. So you notice down here, watch these parts automatically update. There it goes, it's updated. I'll just close this, and I'm done with my labor pricing. So I have 25 chairs. That's all done. If I change this, if I go in here and I change this to, maybe we want 50 chairs. So let's change this to 50, and I go down to my labor, and I will change this to 50, and watch everything update. There you go. That's done. So there's using associated parts